This is the Deseret News National Edition, when your family needs to know more.
Good morning, and thanks for being here. I'm Dave McCann. We begin with a closer look at a federal case that could impact religious freedom. A group of faith-based religious organizations are objecting to covering birth control in their employee health plans. They told a panel of federal judges last week that they should be treated like religions and not be required to even file papers saying they don't want to cover contraceptives. Little Sisters of the Poor is among those faith-based nonprofit organizations. The cases before the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals in Denver are the latest challenge in the birth control mandate in the federal health care law. Mark Kellner is a reporter with the Deseret News National Edition. Typically, we talk to you from Washington, D.C. It's nice to have you here in studio this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What's the government's position here in this particular round of the debate?
The government's position here is that since this is a charitable organization and not a church per se, they are more subject to the federal mandate, or at least they can't be automatically exempted. The idea is to get an exemption, you have to sign a piece of paper, and that requires the health insurance provider to find another way of paying for these contraceptives. What the Little Sisters say is that's making them complicit in actions they don't morally support.
What do you see the 10th Circuit ruling here?
I'm not a prophet, but I can imagine that it will perhaps come down on the side of the Little Sisters, because there are other federal rulings, including, I guess you could extrapolate the Hobby Lobby ruling from last year, that would influence that line of thinking.
When do you think something like this will be determined?
It could be before the new year, but probably after New Year's, I would think, sometime in the spring perhaps.
A lot of folks might think, well, this is just a little side battle in this major issue. But you think this case could be one that actually goes to the Supreme Court?
Yes, you're going to end up with two conflicting goods, if you will, or what people would say are good things. On the one hand, the federal government says that a good, quote unquote, is providing health care, which by their definition includes these methods of birth control, to people who might not otherwise have it. On the other side, you have the Little Sisters and other people of religious conviction saying, you're asking us, federal government, to go against our deepest held beliefs, and we really don't want to do that.
We appreciate you keeping us posted on this case. We'll see you again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mark Kellner, and with us this morning.